Still inside the first half an hour of the 90-minute SportsMax Zone on this Monday. And even as football stakeholders in Jamaica are yet to get approval for the resumption of competitions, the nation's track and field athletes enjoyed their first weekend of action for the 2021 season. Meets were held at 6 venues across the island on Saturday. The National Stadium hosted a 3-hour event for senior athletes, while the high school athletes were in action at Excelsior High School, Jamaica College, Calabar, GC Foster College and St. Elizabeth Technical High School. Vice President of the J3As and Chairman of their Competitions Commission, Ian Forbes, joins us to speak about how things unfolded at the weekend. Ian, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. Second time discussing this issue with you on the show. Great to have you on. Which of these meets were you at, and how satisfied are you with the execution of Saturday's events?
First of all, thanks for having me, Lance, and good afternoon to yourself and your viewers. I was able to attend four of the meets, 4 of the 6 venues. I was not able to attend our GC Foster College and St. Elizabeth Technical sets. But based on what I saw and based on the feedback as well, things went, I would say, very well. Of course, there are opportunities for improvement, and we are working hard at making those improvements. And there would have been 1 or 2 glitches, but as they arose, we dealt with them swiftly. So all in all, I think we are very pleased with how things evolved.
Yeah, so 48 hours on then, Ian, you would have probably had a debriefing from the respective meets and so on. You said something about glitches. Can you be a little bit more specific with that, and where does that take us from here?
Okay, well, first of all, constant reinforcement is necessary with respect to the protocols. And we had to be reminding persons verbally as well as via the electronic media of the need to practice to execute the best practices. The social or physical distancing, sanitizing, the washing of hands, and of course, wearing of masks, and in some cases, face shields. So that had to be constantly reinforced. A number of these athletes have been training, yes, and some have not seen their friends for a very long time. So there's always a temptation to fraternize, to get closer. So we had to be constantly reminding them of that, and they complied. Of course, you know, we have COVID marshals as well, and they were very active in their operations. So these were some of the things. 1 or 2 times we had maybe equipment failure, but those were quickly repaired or replaced. So all in all, I would say it went very well.
Yeah. A few minutes ago, we had the Football Premier League boss Chris Williams talking to us about their issues because football is still on a standstill. What, from your perspective, propelled the track and field authorities to get the green light, as opposed to many other sports who are still struggling to achieve that?
Well, I think from the get-go, we were very active in terms of helping to draft the protocols. Of course, protocols came from World Athletics to WHO. And of course, we enlisted the support of our medical commission to work along with the competitions commission, which I chair. And we were able to draft those protocols. Of course, we would have seen the execution by World Athletics with the Velocity Fest series last year. And of course, some of those best practices were also adopted and embedded in the protocol document. We went further by training over 600 COVID-19 protocol marshals and compliance officers as well. And there were sensitization sessions with respect to meet organizers and other stakeholders, sensitization of athletes, coaches, all stakeholders. And of course, we made the bold move of not canceling, but changing the landscape somewhat with respect to how meets have been organized for the last 20, 30, 40 years in Jamaica with individual meet organizers putting on their respective meets. We took charge and advised that for this year in this pandemic, we'll do it differently. and have qualification trials, and the J3s would play a lead role in the organization of these trials. But we did not just ignore those meet organizers and our stakeholders. We enlisted their support, and some of them are a part of the planning, and some of them are also location chairs, the LOC chairs for some of these venues. So it has been, I'd say, tremendous teamwork, and I think that has made a huge difference in how things have evolved so far.
Yeah, in 20 seconds, Ian, because we've got to wrap this segment now, I heard at least one of the coaches suggesting that Jamaica are ranked number 3 in the world in track and field. Do you think the colossal status that track and field has as a sport in the country contributed to your body earning the respect of the authorities to get your game back on?
I think probably, without second guessing the authorities, I think we've had a long, rich history and tradition in the sport. We have committed to certain actions in the documents we have provided. And I say on the weekend, we walk the talk. So it's not just a matter of putting things on paper. We walk the talk, and as I said, there's room for improvement, and we are working at that. And of course, the bottom line must be, at all times, the safety and well-being of our stakeholders, our athletes, coaches, administrators, officials. As you know, we have dictators presently, yes, but all who are there, we need to ensure they're in a safe and healthy environment.
JAAA Vice President Ian Forbes, thanks for talking to us on The Zone. We'll be in touch, and we'll be back with more on The Zone after this.